Well, hello, beautiful people. How are we doing today? We are back at it once again with the book Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. We're into chapter 11, actually getting ready to jump into chapter 12 because this is part 53 of who knows how many chapters or how many parts, but we're just going to keep this going because this book is so amazing. And if you guys have not got a chance to, and this is your first time listening, I should say, do it to yourself to go back. There's a playlist that I created that starts from the beginning. This book is well worth it. And I create these videos to be no more than 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20. I know because some of these chapters can be a little bit long, but it's there to just dissect. And if you can do it daily like a lot of these people are doing right now, the commitment is definitely worth it. I am enjoying this more than ever, doing this especially for you guys, because it's a book that I've read over and over again. I'll continue to listen to, as controversial as it is. But to me, I don't even think it's controversial, right? I think it's controversial because it's speaking things that I can now align with, that I questioned growing up because I was basically told what I was supposed to hear. But now it's like, oh, everything really starting to make sense. And this was a book that really changed a lot for me. So if that's something that you guys are struggling with and going through, I'm glad that you're here because that's the kind of people that I want to attract to this channel, because it's time for change, you know. And understanding the law of attraction is huge because it's happening whether you believe it or not. It's just whether you're using it to your advantage and how to use it. But it really does require a lot of work, a lot of hard work. And again, I don't, and again, hard work is perceived. So I don't want to say like it's labor intensive, but it is very mental intensive. And that's something that is definitely worth, because if you're willing to challenge yourself, as you should, that's how we learn. You know, we grow as individuals, and really asking yourself, continuing to ask yourself bigger questions. So let's continue in on here. Let me just go ahead and get everything set up because we are almost into chapter 12. But this is all about, the world and how we can view things. So I really hope you guys are enjoying this. Let me just go ahead and get this started. Here we go.
It's everywhere. It's what you are. Actually, the majority of the world is quite well off. Just take a look at your coworkers, your neighbors, your school friends, your club associates. Most haven't been mugged on the streets recently. Most have acceptable jobs and homes. Most are sufficiently healthy. And if you look closely enough, you'll probably even find some who could be classified as moderately happy. It's the same in nearly every country in the world. We have a glut of statistics to tell us otherwise. Fearful figures of doom fed to us daily by our media to keep us nervously focused on and tuned into how horrible conditions are around the world. X% of world economies are collapsing. X% of the world population already has God knows what, and it's growing by X% monthly. X% of teens are having abortions and committing suicide. X% of kids have guns in school. X% of new diseases can't be cured. X% of purple-eyed males will lose their tans before marriage. Awful. Dreadful. Forget the damn statistics. They're simply a result of a bunch of us flowing fearful energy to what we're seeing and hearing. If you don't want to be another statistic, forget about them. As long as you're into feel-good energy, no economy, nor bug, nor gun, nor flood, nor plane is going to down you. Not unless you send out the vibrational invitation. There's just no getting away from it. The overwhelming balance of power on this planet is on the side of well-being, because that is the natural omnipotent state of all that is, including you and me. As ugly as it is, the suffering we see and hear about is an infinitesimal part of the whole of well-being, Simply the magnetic results of someone or some group vibrationally disallowing the wellness that could be theirs if they only knew how to switch to the well being channel. The message is clear. Close our valve to anything, and we close it across the board. Close that valve of well being to anything, from starving kids to vanishing species, and we shut out consummate well being in every aspect of our lives. Or close it off because you're tired of standing in line. Close it off because they delivered the wrong pizza. Or close it off because your ancestors lost their lives in the Holocaust. It doesn't matter. Closing it off is closing it off, automatically shutting out everything that comes with that higher energy, from abundance to health to uncommon happiness. Truly, is one stupid annoyance or some ancient lifelong resentment really worth such gargantuan privation?
Mm.
In the midst of a divorce, or losing a loved one, or some tragedy to you or to others, you're going to feel bad, of course. But make a decision to feel bad for only a short time.
Yes.
Then say to yourself, that's enough. It's time to flood you and anyone else affected by the events with love and appreciation. It's time to find things to feel good about and go on.
Mm.
The moment you make that decision to change your energy, whether it be sadness from a divorce or anger over polluted lakes, the entire universe coalesces in that instant to cascade well being into every crevice of your physical existence. It dumps it all over you and around you and through you. The only thing you have to do is say yes to it all and to life, and wake up to how good it feels to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Then you know from the very depths of your being that everything really is all right, no matter how it may look, no matter how it may seem, no matter what the media may report to the contrary. You and this precious planet, and most who are on it, will always be all right.
Yes. Love it. Love it, you guys. All
Chapter
right.
12, 30 Days to Breakthrough. Whenever I find a miraculous 30-day cure in a book I've purchased, I instantly toss it out. I am not an advocate of 30-day plans.
Mm.
In fact, I detest them, which is obviously why I designed one for myself within days of being introduced to the laws of deliberate creation.
Mm.
Having said that, I have to tell you somewhat red-faced that while those incredible 30 days turned my life around by giving me proof that change was possible, the first 10 days were a nightmare.
Mm.
In fact, working through those days was the hardest thing I had ever done. From giving up drinking, to stopping smoking, to breaking up, which I was actually fairly good at. But the results, of course, were startling, or else I would not have continued. Never had it entered my head that it was possible to live life without some degree of concern, not to mention full-blown stress or outright panic. And yet that is precisely what was happening. I was learning to live without worry. It was astonishing. I seemed to have found a means to live in a state completely counter to what I believed to be normal. Well, I live the 4 steps of deliberate creating almost every day now. If it hadn't been for that 30-day introductory program I designed for myself, I doubt I would have continued. My addiction to negative emotion was too ingrained, too much a way of life to give up in the blink of an eye. I would not have known where to start or how to proceed, no matter how great I thought these teachings to be. Those first 30 days gave me such an enormous head start into learning how to take charge of and control my energy flow that I've just about blasted every major fear I ever had, known and unknown, out of my life.
Mm.
Oh, sure, I'm still a little skitsy about driving on icy roads, so I only do it when I'm sure I'm feeling okay. I still have some trouble speaking up for myself in intimate situations, so I only do it when I know my valve is open. Then it's a breeze. I sometimes lock my doors if that's going to make me feel better on down days, but genuine fear of break ins is simply non existent. And money? It's cascading in now with ease, and has been for quite some time. But I found out early on in my program that money would come in or stay away in direct proportion to my energy flow. If there had been no money coming in, I knew my valve had been closed with worry and fear. When money was more abundant, I knew my valve had opened some. When no money was coming in, I had to do a lot more of what I call flip switching, the rapid altering of one's energy from negative to positive. I had to find ways to get me out of whatever worry habit I'd been in and open up that valve. Then, as long as I kept my valve even a little more open than closed, money would come, but only in proportion to how much feel good energy I could muster. Sure, I still focus negatively, but only for a brief time, a few moments, a couple of hours, sometimes even a day or two, if I really want to feel like old times. But then I've had enough and turn myself back around. I am simply no longer willing to sacrifice all my wants and dreams and well being for self indulgent negative feelings over some stupid negative event. And I no longer charge in like the Lone Ranger against unwanted conditions to fix them, fix them, fix them. Indeed, old dogs most assuredly can learn new tricks. But old dog, young dog, or somewhere in between, there is not one reason under the sun, not one excuse in this whole universe why you can't do this too, if you want to. A freedom of life is waiting for you that is beyond any capacity I have to describe. A freedom so unnaturally extraordinary that one can only know it through the joy of living it. I'm talking about total personal freedom. Freedom from boredom or monotony, from needing to prove or justify, from needing to need, from anxiety, and from all the imprisoning shoulds of life we have so staunchly placed upon ourselves. I'm talking about the freedom to exist as we desire, the freedom to acquire, to be outrageous, to prosper, and even to excel, if that is a desire. I'm talking about creating your own utopia, not next year, not in the next decade, but now. That's where those first 30 days launched me. No, not all at once. This thing is ongoing and will be for as long as I'm in this body. Some days are better than others, but all days hold more enduring joy than I ever thought possible because I have the keys. Whether or not I use them is my choice. But one thing is for certain, I have no more excuses on which to fall back. A mild warning, however. If you do decide to embark full tilt on this 30-day turnaround, you could be facing a major battle with your fears. Old habits die hard, and your fears are not going to like it that you're thinking about cutting them loose. Frankly, neither are you. Yet all we're dealing with here is habits.
Right.
That's all. Just comfy old habits.
Right. That is right. All right, you
Our
guys.
need.
Let's go ahead and stop there. Woo, love it. All right. Well, this is a continuation because we're going to continue on to this tomorrow, but I do challenge you guys. What do you guys think? Comment down below on this 30-day challenge. I know I'm already doing it now and I continue to do it daily. I love it. And yeah, it's definitely not easy. A lot of stuff does come up, but to just completely alter the way you look at things and to create and notice really, because what comes down to what I'm noticing is that a lot of negative stuff comes up, That's what you'll notice. My default has been negative. So just being able to switch that out has been so exciting and empowering. So I encourage you guys to do this. Take advantage of this. We're going to go deeper into this tomorrow, of course, but just wanted to share that with you guys. Like I said, comment down below if you haven't. I really do appreciate when you guys do comment on these videos. It helps a lot. It helps the algorithm. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you get all of these wonderful videos, because I am posting them daily. And I am also putting them in a playlist for people to go back and listen to later on. That's why I'm breaking them into parts. So until next time, you guys make it a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.